because they used to being around them and whatever else. But innately, they still feel like they have to do the extra. They have to be extra happy. They can't be 100% authentically themselves because if they show any sign of anger or aggression, they're viewed in a different light. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Would that be the
I
correct feeling?
agree.
So
Yeah,
you can't be authentically yourself even in their presence. Even if they know you, if it's a group of them, it's like, I gotta keep
I
here
can.
just off. So
I can.
You know what
right.
that
So
remind
I'm
me of?
just saying.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'll let you say it. So I'm just
I
saying that
can
from a
though.
point that, for based off of what he shared, they may not even be racist, but because of what they hear, they may have not even experienced it. But based
Right.
off of the same thing, how we feel, they may be
Well, it's
feeling the
the
same way.
media, right? It's the media and the narrative of the media. You know what I'm saying? They only portray us a certain way.
Right.
But I do feel comfortable around white people because I fuck them all up if they try something with me. So they don't
Shout
put
out
no
to
pump
Uncle
no
Al,
fear in me.
man.
So that's how I feel about it.
I wanna
Oh, we all
I wanna
we know.
say something real quick.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let Kevin
I,
say something, and then it was if you can scroll back. I don't even know how it was. Two people that said something that I wanted to see if we could respond to. Go ahead, Kevin.
No, I just wanted to tell a quick little story. Just it piggybacks off what you just said about how they see us. I had a I had an experience with a racist cop in Tennessee. I got pulled over and the,
Oh,
yeah, the dude pulled me over. I never. His name was Officer Spadoo. I made fun of him because I said your name sound like
yes.
spandex. I made fun of him. But and I was young. I was about like 20 years old, maybe just turned 21.
no, you was
No,
older
no,
than
no, no,
because I was waiting for you.
no. I
Good.
just turned about 21. I think I just had my first drink then. But nonetheless, so
Uh-oh.
I was yeah. So he pulled me over. He pulled me because my tire was going flat, which is was. So he pulled me and said your tire's going flat. I want to give you let you know that. I said, oh thanks. Well, why I got here? Let me see your license registration.
Oh, shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I got lo and behold, the registration I think it had expired. I didn't know it expired. I guess I was in Tennessee, whatever. So he locks me up. So I asked, I said, listen, I said, you pulled me over at the top of my block. Where I lived at, I had no service. And just so happened my mom came into town to visit me. I was intentional by myself doing some work. So I said, do you mind driving up like 3 houses just so I can let my mom know that you're taking me to jail? Because if I get there and I make my phone call, I won't be able to reach her because I get no service in that area. So he did. And my mom, everything was cool. So then he took me back to his office. He didn't even take me straight to jail. He took me back to his office first. So it's me, him, in his office by himself. This is crazy. And he put me down. He sits me to the chair. We go inside his office, takes the handcuffs off me, and he sits me down in his chair at his desk. He takes his gun off his waist, put it in the drawer. He go in the back of the building. There's nobody else in the building but me and him. So I could have grabbed his gun, shot him, ran away, anything. But I didn't bolt. I sat there. He came back out. We started talking. So I'm a funny bull, so I had him cracking up laughing the whole time.
He was trying to commit suicide.
More likely,
Go
probably was, but I believe in remaining cool at all times. I'm a quiet storm. So we get to talking. I got him laughing. We talking, cracking up, joking. And he like, man, you thirsty? I'm thirsty. I said, yeah. He went and give me something to drink. So he said, man, I like you. He said, man, if I could, I would let you go right now, but I already called it in, so I gotta take you in. He said, what's I'm gonna do for you? What I didn't know, in Tennessee they got a law. If you get locked up and you're from out of state, I took my Philadelphia ID, your bond is automatically $1,500. He said, I'm gonna get you a no-low bond, meaning I'm gonna get out of jail for free. He said, cause I like you. So we get in it. So we get in the car to we get ready to leave to get in his car to go to the jail. The jail's like 45 minutes from his office. So I put my hand on my back. He said, what you doing? I said, for the handcuffs. He said, no, you cool. I said, I ain't got handcuffs. I can trust you. I ain't got handcuff you. I said, all right. So we go to the car. So I go to the back. He said, man, get in the front car. You ain't got to sit in the back. So we sit in the front car, laughing, talking, on the way to the jail drinking. He showed me pictures of girls on his phone, all kind of, like, he didn't talk about his whole family. But we didn't became homeboys.
And I was pissed.
Like, it looks like if you drive by, look, we just 2 homeboys laughing in the cop car talking. He said, bruh, he said, and when I got there, he got me in no little bar. I got out of jail in 2 hours. I had to pay nothing. I was good. He told everybody, he said, man, this guy's good. He's straight. Get him out of there. They got me out of there in 2 hours. But nonetheless, he said, the reason why I did it, he said, because, he said, he said, you know, you were the first black man I ever ran into. He said, you didn't call me a cracker. You didn't call me a racist. He said, you didn't sit there and make all these excuses. You took accountability for what you did wrong as far as not having expired registration. He said, you were cool. He said, you didn't reach for my gun when I left it. You didn't do nothing. You sat there and you was cool and calm the whole time.
But the fact he was setting you up.
Wanted to kill you.
That's my point. That's why I was pissed.
More at the time.
Because who does that?
But see, at
You're
the time,
looking for
I didn't
him.
even think about that.
Yeah, they got
At the time, I didn't even think that he could possibly have
But
another gun.
here's the arrogance, and here's the authority and the abuse of power.
There's a
He
bunch of
did
shit
not
wrong
even
with that.
take you to the police station. He took him somewhere else first. He never took
against the
him
law.
down to book him.
That's
He don't
against-
even understand why I was snapping wholeheartedly. I was going down there threatening. Listen, they could have arrested me
And
for
then-
threatening them. He didn't even have them registered in the system.
And then it's like, why? How could you sit here and say you the first black person that ain't say all of these things when his first move was racist? You pulled me over
For a
and
tire.
said my tire's low, but while we're here,
Yep,
let me fingerprint you. What the fuck do you mean?
yep.
That would have made me call you all types of racists and crackers. So you making moves that would you tried to entice me from the very beginning.
But I'm glad he kept his cool.
And my thing is, the crazy part is, like I said, at that time I was 21, I was young. I didn't even think he was. Now that I'm older, I realized what he was doing. But at that time, I didn't even think he was trying to set me up. My whole thing in my mind is, I always been the calm dude under pressure. I never felt under pressure. Like I strive.
me too.
I'm always calm. Like everybody's erratic. I'm just chilling, thinking about how I'm a strategist. How I'm gonna get out of this.
I'm gonna get out of there.
So my mindset, no lie, the whole time was like, if I can make him laugh and get this man to like me, I can get out of this joint. And literally, he was ready to let me go. He said, I can't because I already caused him to respect me. When I got to the jail, it's an all-white jail. Everybody's white. He said, listen, this man is good. Give him a no-low bond. I want him out of here. He ain't got to pay for nothing. He was good. He let me go. I got to keep my shoes on.
That was a good.
Like everybody else
listen,
inside the jail looking crazy. I thought it was cool.
The message in that
it's
would
crazy.
be is to learn how to make them laugh, but the mere fact that you shouldn't
You
have
still
to go
had to
through
shut the
that.
job.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
shouldn't
You
have.
shouldn't have had to
That's the-
experience
Hey,
it
Rich Bo.
in the first
Hey,
place
Rich Bo.
at all.
What
Out
time?
of pocket.
What kind of time we got on this session?
So
left?
it's like a few.
Oh,
It's like what 6, I think.
Hold on.
You're about to say it should give you a countdown.
It's
So
not. It ain't counting down yet.
Yeah. No, I was
But
paying
we
attention.
started.
Yeah. So
It should be countdown soon. I'll let
damn,
you.
they had to say you had a coon.
listen, you shouldn't even have. It's the point that you should not even have to
Oh,
experience that.
1 minute
Scroll up.
53 seconds.
Scroll up really quick. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, down the other way. Go back before I pose. Hold on, I start right there. I'll move back up. And look at what America
You said 1 minute left.
are using.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay, so
39 seconds.
is that Phoenicia? What that say?
It's
Yeah,
Said,
that's
and look what
that's-
America is
that's
doing
future.
now.
That's
That we
fashionista.
are
Fashionista.
using the resources, read it, Rich, I can't see it. The rules are changing daily because we're tapped in now. And that is so true. So basically what you're saying is they creating all of these situations because we're tapped into them. The rules change when it's applied to us. That's why I said we're not afforded the same opportunities unless we're creating the opportunities. But even in creating the opportunities, they still have you like that neck, that rope around your neck. Because if you don't even go about that the right way, Uncle Sam is going to still tax you ridiculously to prevent you from coming up. And there's certain people that have ways around it. We just not one.
Yeah, we about to time
Top
out.
out,
We gonna
time
log
out.
back on. Everybody, please get back on so we can continue this conversation.
We'll be right back.
Richmond,
That
make sure you
ties
say that, John Richmond.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Coming right
Say
back.
that join. Philly, you know you're from Philly if you use the word join.
You already know.
Say that join. That's a
Good
join.
night. All right.
Unbelievable.
I guess you just gave up on you letting everybody know you my
No,
mother.
I'm back to that. No, I didn't. You said you helped me roll up the road.
You know, I said you let everybody know you my mother.
No, I didn't. I said I was livid. I didn't say I was your mom. I could be your friend. I could have been an ex-girlfriend. Nobody ever believed you my son anyway. He a hater. I look old, Naomi. See. Hater. He's a hater. That's crazy. But that emotion of worthlessness and self-doubt
That's fucked up.
is everything.
I never felt
What?
worthless though.
I'm just saying, read his story.
You know what's crazy?
Well, not good enough, I should say.
You know what's crazy though? And I wanted to bring this up too, and I'll try to probably bring it when we get back on. We got time.
Can you get that for me, please?
Do you know what hurts more?
Did you lock it? It's locked. Did you unlock it?
Like far as the racism?
What?
It it doesn't really hurt that. It really
My
doesn't
bitch a
hurt
dirty
that
dog. Young nigga Michael Jackson.
Worthless when it came from white people. Only when it came from my own people that I feel worthless.
Oh, no, I ain't never felt worthless, period.
That's the only time I really bothered me.
But I don't mean worthless. I mean,
but I'm saying the person where it truly bothered me. I only ever felt really bothered by racism, except only when it came from our own people. Never from whites.
Bring that up.
Never from whites. That's the crap. That's why I felt not just the worst, but like, I guess it's punch in the stomach. I never felt that from whites. I don't give it. I don't get it. Like I expect that from
you expect
from my own
See, but
people.
but see,
That's where it hurts.
And mine's is coming from a different perspective. What I never liked is the way my people used to act, right? Because you know we walk around all day saying my nigga, right? And my friends, I got a couple friends that when we get around white people, I don't change. You feel me? I'm still my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yo, bro, I'm like, what? Yo, like don't like they'll pull me to the side like on some. Don't embarrass. Like don't do it in front of them.
I mean, I agree to an extent.
why?
Wait, I'm going to answer while we get on. Wait, I'm going to answer when we get on. Wait, let them get on.
No,
I'm going to answer
I'm
it.
just saying, no, Rich Mo, I'm half.
I'm happy. I get what you're saying, but I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Yeah, there's a reason for that. But I'm going to tell you why.
Because trust me, Rich, I used to be just like that with your man. But then now I realize
MJ?
It's different. It's different.
That MJ?
It's
Okay.
different.
Hold on. Give him a few minutes to get on, then we can revisit that.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't think we should do that.
No, listen. I'm not just arguing with you. I'm just saying I'm like halfway with you, halfway not, because I get it.
Hold on.
I'm here.
Okay. Who that? Who is it?
I never sent this joint.
What?
I'm supposed to send this joint to my boss man to watch it. I never sent it to him. The hell is his name?
I stay making faces. You sent it to Chase?
Yeah. I've been sent it.
Welcome back.
Try to see if we get it.
So, let's see if we get Chase in before
Try to get Chase in first.
before we go into that and try not to get as heated as we usually are. Based off of what these two just came out with.
I say these two. It's him. Chase. I gotta get Chase. You sent it to Chase?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sent it to him a few times.
Let's see.
Send it to him again. See, it's like he's blocking it.
No, he probably hit the wrong thing.
Cause it said Chase is on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He back, yeah.
He just said he's back.
Yeah, he bad.
Yeah, but I keep requesting it. There you go.
All right, I'm back.
All right, so when y'all went off, Kevin, what did you mention? You said something.
I said when we went off for a quick second, she was talking to me about that sense of feeling worthless or feeling like not good enough when it came to I guess racism from white folks, and I was explaining to her that I've never felt not good enough or worthless when it came to race from white folks. That's the only time I ever felt not good enough or even worthless to a degree, only when the racism came from our own people.
Right. Because you said with the other people,
I
Caucasian people, he expected
it. Doesn't bother me.
So
it
when your own people make you feel,
because it's like, damn, because I'm darker than you, I'm not good enough for you, but we're the same. Mm-hmm. Like, and it's like, here's the crazy part, and this I get this all the time, and I'm just now thinking about it now as I'm talking about it. But normally I always laugh, like no big deal. When I show people pictures of my mom, your mom's light skinned? Get the hell out of here! That ain't your mom. I'm like, that ain't my mom because she light and I'm so dark. Like, that's impossible to you to imagine that I have a light mama. So your daddy must be real black. Well, one he is, but still, it's like, you can't fathom that my mother is light skinned, or that my little sisters or little brother are light skinned. Like, it's crazy to them.
Well, I think it's just based off of what people used to, because I never forget when I moved to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and my boys, only had 2 at the time, was playing with these other little black kids and child. I tell them to go get their mom when they was getting out of order. Like, go get your mom. And it was nothing but white women that came around the corner. I was like, I was like 22. I was like, listen, my eye was open to a whole different world. These black, listen, they were darker complexion, darker than him, and their mamas was white, blonde hair, blue eye. And I was sitting here like, oh, okay. I didn't expect that.
Right.
At all. So that really, that was an eye opener to me. So based off of what he said, Rich Mo said his experience was a little different. Now go ahead, Rich Mo, because he's ready to get heavy. His experience was when
what happened with me is when I'm with my friends and we might be around some people of the other race, some white people, whatever. And my friend, like, we around each other, except my nigga this, we say nigga. It's almost like they get mad at me for saying nigga in front of white people. Like, yo, don't talk like that in front of them. Basically, like, we gotta act, like, trying to say we need to behave in front of them.
That's how you felt. And me and Kevin said, I said, well, I can agree with them. I see his point, but I can agree with them too. How you guys feel about that?
Hey, Chase.
How do you feel about that? Question. He's saying that when everyday life, when he's with his friends, his normal verbal dialogue is nigga this, nigga that, being himself. That's how he communicates. But he's saying when they're out, his friends is saying, cut the word. And he feels like,
they say don't
say it in front of white people. Why are you saying it to cut it? And he feel like he should be able to be himself pretty much and
being yourself,
be the same and do it. But I was telling him, that's a double, and I was getting ready to get into it.
It's a double standard. It's a very double standard thing.
Who agree with Rich Mo that you should be able to be yourself?
Like
now here's
the
thing.
Do the tap dance thing
no, you don't have to do the tap dance thing. But my point is, if you look at really where the origin of the word come from, right? One, it was one of those situations that when Oprah and Jay-Z kind of got into it, when he did the whole nigga thing. Nigga, not nigga. And she would never have him on her platform because she said he used that language and she felt like it was disrespectful and boom, 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 boom. And then Jay-Z made that book, the Black Bible or something, the Bible or something he made, and then she invited him more. From reading that, her whole perspective changed because she felt like it was disrespectful. You're taking and being careless with the hurt and pain that our ancestors went through, using that word loosely and applying it to each other. And in that book, Bible, that he wrote himself, he explained how, I took the power from that word.
Exactly.
So his perspective was, I pulled the power of it. So if you say it doesn't rub me the wrong way. Right. And a lot of people, that's just like, I used to say it all the time, if a Caucasian called me white, it wouldn't bother me at all. The only way it would bother me, my arrogance, if I'm tapped in, right, and feed, I would feed for the disrespect to think you think you're getting under my skin, right? But really, it doesn't bother me at all because I know who I am. Right. So I promise you, it doesn't bother me. But if I tap into that and feed that, it would only be because you think you want to try to, but see, I did some healing on ego, so I don't think I'll go there.
I got offended by this other black dude. When I used to work at the airport, homie called me a schmuck.
Oh.
I didn't know what it meant. I was like, yo, what the hell is that? And it was just how he said it. It was the whole heat of the scenario. And he was like mad. But it was a dude like, yo, imagine this, right?
What is a schmuck?
You know what juvenile, right? Right. So a schmuck is an idiot. So,
no, I'm just laughing because white people cuss words funny as hell.
Right,
Schmuck.
So listen, he wasn't white. He was black.
Oh,
he was a black dude. He was a black dude.
That's a white word. That's a white word. That's a white word. That's a white person.
That's even more insulting.
That's like I don't know what Italians or whatever. Like
Italians say schmuck. That's Italian.
So listen. Real quick, like this is the whole thing. Dude was black. He looked like Juvenile. Like Juvenile, but sound like Joe Pesci. Imagine that, right? Yeah. So, and homeboy was mad because he was a brother from Boston. He was mad because his flight was his flight was canceled due to weather. It had nothing to do with anybody, but the fact that he was just mad, and so And the way to just like kind of just get his rocks off, whatever he calls it, he just started picking on people that worked there. And so I walked up and I seen it was like a new girl. She looked like she needed some help. So I just was like jumped on and I basically was like, hey, you all right? And yeah, then he was like, yeah, like, oh, what is this guy going to do? And like, oh, you look like you're young, you don't know what you're doing. And he just came up to me and was like, oh, and then like he just kept like slandering. I'm steady trying to help. And he's like, oh, what are you gonna do? You schmuck? You gonna come over there and hit me? I'm like, oh, like so that just sounded dirty. Like
and that is
when I realized it, like, wow. So
and that's the loss of identity.
Yeah. So like the thing with the whole nigga thing is definitely something just because it's like it's an appropriation thing. It's like you don't want to give people the ammunition, especially out beyond, you know what I'm saying, modern Europeans, the wherewithal to use that. And then it's like, let's say some white or they're amongst each other and they say, they like, what, yo, what you say?
Right.
But it's like, if you say, it's like kind of adding fuel to the fire. So.
And today it depends on the content that is actually
I want to piggyback on.
So I think that, and after you piggyback, I want to know which ties right into my next question was, so how do you feel about, and I'm gonna stick with us for now, but I meant it in general, but I'm just using us because we're on that subject. How do you feel about Caucasians adopting black children? Do you think that's a yes or a no?
That's cool.
Because based off of what you just said, the smuck word, and that came from us, right? Mm-hmm. I truly believe that's an identity crisis, right? Now, don't get me wrong. For certain things, when we get into it, right? People of color, Aboriginal, as mom say, our people, right? So it's important that we do not lose sight of who we are, right? It's like when you're in a relationship, when you argue and get into it with your family, when you get into it with the people that's close to your family, you want to establish healthy boundaries in arguing and fighting, right? You can't really do what you would do to someone who's not in relation, right? So based off of our history and where we come from, even if we get into it with people that's not even in our direct family, but another person who look like you and I, we want to make sure we stick to our boundaries and our rules within our culture and not use words like it said. He was more so offended when he experienced the racism from his own people, right? So the hurt is a little bit different when you experience from your own people because you know what to expect from the strangers. Right. So calling you something that was not in our dialogue at all, right, was highly offensive. Right? Way more offensive than if he would have called you probably the B-I-T-C-H, right? Because
and it's also tone too. It's just how you say something to someone. So if you just say, "Oh, whatever, you idiot,"
it's
like
definitely tone. It's definitely tone because I feel like, and I tell you all the time, like, and I'm gonna say real quick on Richmond, I agree with you, but I don't. I agree with you in the sense I used to be the same. That's how I talk. Fuck it. But at the same token, it was like, I'm like Chase. I don't want to make them feel like they're comfortable enough to say it too. So by hearing us say it to each other, they may feel like, okay, we can say it too. Like, nah, don't get it too. It's like the simple fact of the matter. Like, let's say you and your brother, y'all growing up with y'all friends. Y'all may say certain stuff to each other. Y'all brothers. You know, we can fight each other. We can talk trash about each other. But don't get it twisted. You can't talk trash about my brother. Like, don't think because you hear me talk to my brother that you can talk. You see what I'm saying? So I never want to get them comfortable with anything they can just say it too. That's where I disagree with you at. But I think
I don't feel like they should get comfortable regardless.
But
like,
I mean, you say that, but it's like,
Well, I know, other races that used it, and it wasn't in a context to where as though it was being racist.
Like I said, to me, it's
like
about context and it's about context and tone because cause my thing is it's about context and tone because if you, I mean, I'm not gonna take it no more disrespectful if a white person say F you N-word or if a black person say F you N-word. I'm gonna want to punch both of y'all in the mouth. I'm not gonna take it no more disrespectful because he's white and you're black. Right. Y'all both say F me N-words. I'm gonna want to punch you both in the mouth off rip. I'm not gonna take it any less disrespectful. Y'all tone was out of pocket. Y'all delivery was out of pocket. I want to fight. I don't care if you was a black, brown, or red person who said it.
For what? Say what?
If you say F you N-word.
F you N-word.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Delivery does matter.
Oh, really?
Because to me it does. Cause I said,
delivery does matter, but in that context, I don't know how you would take that the same.
Y'all both disrespected me.
Yeah,
So,
but
let me ask
one
you
is
a
coming
question.
from a racist standpoint, and the other one is not.
But that,
It's
but
coming
that,
from
But disrespect is disrespect. I want
that's
to beat
not-
both of
alright,
y'all
so-
up.
but
Yeah,
that-
and this
that's-
is what I mean by
Here
we
you go.
lose. But that's what based off of what he said is what I mean by we lose sight of our boundaries and our identities and the pain and the hurt and everything else that we go through because we start equating everything as equal. There still has it still has to be here.
So let me ask you a question. This is where I think the confusion is coming into play. So if I grew up with a white boy, you feel me? From the ground up, same projects, all that. That's my nigga.
I had that.
Right, we all had one white boy.
And he said it, and it didn't bother me.
That's my
It
point.
didn't bother me.
My point is, like you said,
Yeah, but that's
it didn't.
different
It's all about
if y'all
relationship.
got into a
Yeah.
brawl and y'all separated and he like nigga. That's just like if you dating a white girl. That's different if she said it is a different
but it's-
scenario
it's-
when y'all get
but-
mad, y'all
but it's
arguing, and
not.
she start calling y'all kind
But
of
that's-
black coons, trash.
No,
You
no,
beneath
that's
me anyway.
different.
My people sat on top of you.
That's
It's
different.
is
That's different. But it's not different if me and him sit, if me and the same nigga stand there arguing, and he like, listen, nigga, you ain't say that, and none of that. It's different because he's not. I still don't feel like it's coming from a racist place.
And this is
I
why
feel
now
like
listen,
if-
this is the goodness in black folks and Aboriginal folks because you
Shout
have
out
to
Big
establish
Cuz 777.
you have to establish boundaries. This is
Right.
my point. You can't lose sight
But
of your own history.
I do feel
agree.
like you said boundaries, but that's not a boundary for him.
No, it's not a bit because you didn't create it.
I don't feel like he needs one because
No,
I don't
that's
feel like
because you didn't create it.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
I don't
but
feel
the
like
same
that
way
guy
if he
needs
out.
one.
So my point is the same way. Don't get mad if y'all out in a restaurant and y'all break out and then he say the N word, everything else.
I
Because
won't.
the same thing should apply to the same thing as in why your friend says you shouldn't say the N word in front of everybody else while you're out. Only that's not to give them leverage.
I wouldn't be mad if that same white boy that I was cool with said that in front of everybody. I wouldn't be mad because we just angry. We together. This is my nigga. It's still my nigga. At the end of the day,
But
it's still
nah,
the same
nah,
dude.
nah, I couldn't-
and I
I
don't
couldn't
care
let
what
that pass.
I just don't care what they think. It's like, all right, so look, that's like you setting rules because that's what I didn't like about my friends. Because now you making rules different because they're around. Like, fuck them. It ain't about them. If me and my boy arguing, if me and you arguing, right? You know what I'm saying? And we right here, I let you call me fat. But then we arguing outside, you like, yo, shut your fat ass up. I can't get mad because you saying that shit in front of people now.
Yeah, but
I
they should
didn't
know
create
not
that
to say
boundary.
But as your friend,
You should
as
have
your
healthy
friend,
boundaries,
I
period.
should know not to embarrass some type of level. You just said we're one-on-one, me and you arguing, I call you fat. It goes back to the scenario I gave where if it's you and your brother arguing, because I can call you that, doesn't mean other people can.
Exactly.
So I'm
That's
not
a
going to
fact.
embarrass you in the sense of a public setting and say, shut your fat ass up. Why would I embarrass you? Oh, he
agree.
called you fat.
But
That's
it
how
might-
fight started.
it
You
might-
remember when you was
but-
younger,
but
that's
that's
how you ended up
true, but
fighting
what
your
I'm saying
homeboy
is,
because everybody
if-
said, oh,
If
like
you
it's the same
comfortable,
John.
if you comfortable calling me fat, obviously I'm gonna have a word for you. Me and
Right,
you,
which is
what I'm
true.
saying,
But that's
me,
amongst
you
me
might
and
call
you,
me
though.
So
something, I
this
might call you
ties back
something.
That's
into
amongst
what
me and
your
you, though.
friends were saying to
Yeah.
an extent. There's a time and a place for everything. That
Yeah,
wrapped
but I
that
feel
out.
like that nigga
You
word
can-
is just different. It's so my nigga is like saying my brother.
It
My
is.
nigga
It
is
is.
it's just
I
a
go
little
by-
And
different.
that was one of the dangers over expressed to him with being comfortable with the word.
You can't be too
Because you're
comfortable,
getting too comfortable.
though.
I
You
go
can't be too
I
You're
go
too
by the
comfortable
old
now.
school rules.
Because it
You
doesn't
heard
even
me?
it doesn't even phase you.
What's the old
Hold
school
on,
rule?
I'm
You know what I
What's
mean?
wait,
That's
what
like
you
getting
gotta
high
say,
to an extent
Hold on.
and then you lose
What's
sight
the
of
old
behind
school
it.
rule? Go ahead.
It's old school.
Go ahead. Oh, give us some. What
Sticks
y'all say
and
on
stones
Gentleman
will break my
G-Talk?
bones,
But names
will never hurt.
And that's a
feel
lie.
me?
Because
Talk
words
about,
hurt the worst.
That's a whole
No.
lot.
Come on,
Don't.
you can fight me, and listen, you can fight me, and I will forgive you faster than you saying some words out of your mouth.
But not me though.
And that's
That's
me.
true.
But see, that's me.
No,
Me.
words
It's
hurt.
all
It
That's
subjective
me.
to the
depends.
individual.
It depends on who said those
said
words.
And it depends on
I
the
never-
I don't
word.
even care who said it. I don't even have no boundaries. I ain't gonna lie.
It depends.
I don't even
Listen.
care who says it to me. I have no boundaries with that. You know why? Because anybody, especially that I care about, I'm never going to utter certain things because I love you that
And
much.
see, that's why there's
And I can't
boundaries,
respect
because if I
nobody
don't
else
care
that
about
do
you-
it because of that. That's why my boundaries is once you do a certain thing to me, I'm cut because I would never
Say that
do
too.
it to you.
But see, that
So
right
with
there
that being
is
said,
why-
I can't
but see,
relate.
that right there
I
is
will,
why
I
it
will
matters,
fight
though.
you faster and forgive you than your words.
But see, that right there is why it matters. Because at the end of the day, because
Words?
I care about you and you said that to me, that's where it hurts. If you said something to me, it would cut way deeper. The person on the shoe who I don't know said the same thing. I would laugh. Nigga, I don't give a damn. I don't know you. Hi, whatever. But because it was you,
Right.
it hurts more. So
Right.
who says it does
does
that matter.
It
You
matters
can't
all
say
day long.
words don't hurt because it does. It just depends on who's delivering
And
it.
I believed that way, that what MJ said for a long time until I thought about it when I got older, and I was like, sticks and stones, I'd rather you hit me.
I would too. I heal faster physically.
I don't say anything.
Oh, but to answer your question, I don't like white folks adopting black babies.
Everybody got a code.
Where you get that? What made you say Monday?
Let's talk about it Monday.
Chase?
Tell them why you said it, Chase.
Because I know a joke like that.
Go ahead, Chase.
Oh, no, I was trying to pin the comment, but I can't do it because I'm not on the account.
Let's talk about it Monday.
And I thought you were signaling me from Monday message this morning.
No, because I
He
had,
thought about I got a joke like that.
no, because I had a white friend tell me I said, they got racist jokes that we don't know about.
Okay.
I know
they
some.
talk about.
I know some.
Yeah,
I know some. They
they
funny.
I had a white. They are.
They funny.
So I had a white friend say he told me a joke. He said he was at work. He's talking to his friend. So his friend said, man, yeah, like he said, his friend said something about a nigga, and he was like, man, we don't call them niggas no more. Don't do that. He said, what we calling them? He said we call them Mondays, and he's like, Monday? Why we call them Monday? He said nobody likes a Monday.
I got one worse than that.
We just talked about nobody really wanted to bang with Monday.
I got one.
That's funny because Monday is my day.
I got one worse than that, and it's wrong, but it's funny. It's a black lady and her child on an airplane, and the stewardess comes and says that the airplane is overcrowded. We're going to need some people to get off, but the plane already took off. The plane is in the air, so people got to jump off. If not, everybody gonna go down and we're gonna die. So they're like, okay, so we're gonna call out. So we're gonna start by races, going alphabetical order. So we need all that.
Start by race.
But race will start with alphabetical order. So we need all the African Americans to jump off first. So the son like, Mom, that's what he said. No, we're not African American. No, we're not African American. So he's like, so next, we're gonna need all the blacks to jump off first.
Oh, shit.
So he's like, Mama, we black. She said, no, we're not black. We're not black. So we're gonna need all the colors to jump off first. She's like, Mommy, we colored? No, we're not colored. Mommy, we're niggas today, son. We're niggas. Like, we're niggas. We're not getting off this plane. And I was crying.
I never heard that.
That's
Niggas
funny
today.
as hell.
I never heard that.
Like, and it was a white person said that. I couldn't be mad because it was so funny. I said, that's hilarious.
Yo, I never heard that.
I would have been a nigga too.
Before.
Like, that'd have been more than enough people off the plane. I'm surviving.
Yo,
like,
that's
I'm a nigga
hilarious.
today. Like, that was funny as hell. I can't even lie.
That was funny.
Ignorant, but funny as hell.
That was
Yeah,
funny.
they got a bunch of them whack
Actually,
jokes.
that was
You
funny.
want to know if a black woman pregnant? They said put a watermelon down there. If you take it away and there's a bite mark, then she's pregnant.
Wait, what? I missed it.
But see, there's some stereotypes I don't get. Because everybody loves watermelon.
Right.
Every race loves fried chicken.
but
Well, they
so
just
why
said
is it
we like it
only
the
our
most
staple?
because
Like,
we like it the
everybody
most.
loves
But you
fried
don't-
chicken.
you
Like,
don't-
I don't get that.
You don't remember the
But you see us at the store getting it the most.
blackface? They used to have a watermelon. I guess that's what they fed the slaves too. I don't know, maybe.
Well, no, not only that, it's just that who loves it the most. Like I said, if you go to the wing
we
spot,
love it the most.
y'all in there more than any, and I'm going to say y'all because I don't eat it. Y'all in the wing spot more than any other race up in there.
And chicken is cheap.
So that's your mom.
No, it ain't.
So that's the reason
And,
why.
and chicken is cheap, so
So-
that's why we buy it. You know what I'm
Oh, no, I don't
saying? We
know
was
about
poor.
that. No,
We was
that's a
poor.
class thing. Anyway, we're going
Oh,
to... Who believes chicken is a class thing? That's class.
Chicken is great.
Right?
Chicken's
Okay.
amazing.
He said it's amazing. So we're moving right along. So I want to know who can, and we'll start with MJ since he was the last one that didn't piggyback off of that. What does being successful mean to you? What is your definition of success?
That's interesting.
I honestly think it's very simple.
Nah, shit, no.
You know what?
It's not good.
Wait,
It depends
pause,
on the person.
MJ.
It's
Pause,
subjective.
pause, pause. Matter of fact,
Oh, you, okay.
I'm going to throw a question. You can think about that. Everybody can think about that. You got
I
time.
already got
I'm
my
going to throw
answer.
one
Go
in
ahead.
I got my
one
answer
because
too.
I moved out of order because Kevin's last comment, it wasn't your fault, it was mine. Threw me off. I wanted to know, and this is another little deep one. And I'm still start with MJ. Give me one childhood trauma that you carried with you into your adult life, if you can identify with it. Just
when
one.
my pop got murked.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so you still feel trauma from that, or you made peace with it?
I made peace with it now, but I took a long time. You know, I'm 51 years old, so I don't feel the same anymore. But I did for a long time. I had the result of it was paranoia of how he died. It was in a bar. I was snuck in the bar to see him. I seen him the same day he died, but I seen him hours earlier. And what happened was my pop I did not live with him. I used to visit him for the summer. So every summer when I was young, I would go see that side of the family. And right after he got murked, I wasn't able to see that side because they didn't tell me that he got murked until later on. Like, I didn't go to the funeral or anything.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Because
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, like, they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me. His side, my pop's side, and my mom's side wasn't the best of friends, I guess you could say. And I guess she decided that it was, I wasn't supposed to know, or I don't know. So in my mind as a child, two things was happening. One, I wasn't able to go the summers to see that side of the family, which I had a ball. You understand?
So
to see my father, I didn't get a chance to do that. And then two, I found out that part of the reason why when I got older is because he wasn't around, and I was like, okay, so yeah, that was a lot of different.
It caused you to have what again?
I'm sorry. It caused
not anxiety. What was the word? Paranoia. So you became paranoid. I want to remember that. Paranoid. So the trauma you carried into your adult life was paranoia from how your father got killed when you were younger.
Thinking that if I go into a bar in North Philly, I can get killed.
Got you.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
I mean, it was other trauma, but that's the big one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna come. Go ahead, Chase.
Well, childhood trauma for me. Probably when I was in sixth grade. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
I was in sixth grade, and me and my brother was wrestling, and he broke my arm.
Oh, so what were you doing?
Ever since then, it was like I never really watched wrestling like that, and I was a big wrestling fan. Yeah, so that was like a trauma for me because I always just like put fear in my heart, like never, that whole like hot stove moment. Never do this. Never try this at home, or don't play with fire.
You can tell he had a good life. Had both parents in the house. Tell he had both parents in the house.
Kevin just really clowned you, Chase. He talking about you can tell he had a good child. He talking about his childhood.
Clarence had both his parents.
He had both parents in the house. Never had the lights on. Never had the water cut off.
Don't goddamn. Y'all cut it out. Don't pay them no mind, Chase. Don't listen. We all know our families are dysfunctional. Don't pay them any mind. Go who next? Don't pay them no mind. Go. Richmond, go. They horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this qualifies as trauma. You know what I'm saying?
Childhood trauma that you carried over into your adult life.
What age is childhood though? From what to what?
Childhood trauma is childhood. You don't know what right?
I mean,
teenage years. I mean, from the age of you was born to the age of 20.
It's what childhood trauma
Rich
carries you into adulthood. Anybody on the live can answer that. What childhood trauma that you experienced when you was a child that you carried until your adult life?
For me,
tell her about the time when they pulled your pants down in the gym in front of everybody.
They never did that. Okay. They knew better. See, I ain't had those same traumas. But I'll say this. Okay, yeah, I got one now. Now I thought about it. So I used to think I was invincible, right? Mm-hmm. So we used to fight a lot in my projects. We loved fighting. So we fight like for real, niggas.
I
Just
threw
be
my
fighting.
trash away.
So me and this dude is fighting. You know what I'm saying? And this is my cousin too. We fighting, and this nigga is losing, and everybody's watching. But he's like a big bully. Like niggas knew, everybody was scared of him. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he actually about to come home soon. From then, he did 25 to life. So he about to just come home soon. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like he was terrorizing my projects at that young age. This nigga was losing the fight, and because he was losing, he grabbed my balls.
Oh my God! I wasn't expecting that.
Pause.
I ran in the house and then come out for days. Swear to God, I was looking out the way. I didn't come outside for days because I never knew I had that weakness. That was my first
Everybody
time
has
feeling,
that
no,
weakness.
I didn't know
Well, men.
that felt like that when you get hit in your balls.
Ooh.
I didn't know that delay, and then the pain comes later, and then it
hurt
don't
all
go
day.
away.
It hurt all day.
I was in the window like, is he outside?
See, the worst
'Cause
one
he's
comes
grabbing
from
balls.
the first one
I
comes
don't
from,
want to be involved
come
with
from
that.
baby. When they try to tap you on the leg, they miss and hit you right there. That's the most painful
I
thing.
didn't-
It's unexpected. That's the most
He
painful
was the
thing.
first person to tap my balls, and I swear. But ever since then, honestly, like I don't.
He
I
wear a
don't-
cup to this day.
I don't really like to fight like that, and I'm scared. That's the fear. Like that's what I'm thinking. Are they gonna? Because it's just like a pit bull. Like
you don't wanna feel
if
that
you
feeling
can't get
ever
me
again.
off of you, I have though. You know, I have in certain situations because shit happens. But it's like I be thinking like that's the only thing about fighting that I fear because I could take punches, I could take whatever. I got jumped by 10 niggas. I was laughing.
I've been there.
I was laughing on the floor, laughing. You hear me? It was funny to me, but it's the balls that I definitely carry that into grown man.
Alrighty.
Yeah, sorry.
Kevin Floyd.
I had so many. It's hard to pick one.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This one for now. This one.
The one that popped into my head the most that I would say, you know, still to this day, and we being vulnerable on the show, you know, I don't like being vulnerable. I would say it still bothers me to this day to a degree. Not so much, but to a degree. Being called ugly because I'm dark skinned.
Wow.
Fuck them.
Well, you far from that.
Being called ugly because what?
Because he's dark skinned, being called ugly.
Yeah, I was African booty scratcher, midnight, under the bed.
That almost makes me want to cry.
Oh, have mercy.
That's
I was,
crazy, right?
Tar baby, all those things, you know.
I feel bad now.
Wow,
I used to date a cousin. I had a female cousin that's dark. And
Yeah.
I
And
told
see,
her-
that's what he was saying earlier.
told
When
her.
it comes from us, it's
Yeah.
worse. So
I used to
bad
tell her
enough.
like she was related to the black Crayola crayon. I told her she was adopted.
Well, listen,
It's
I've been
like turn the
called
lights off
light
and Kevin
bright.
smile. We'll
I
see
used to
you.
call
white.
her.
That's true.
White
I used to
bread.
call her
That's
midnight.
true. MJ said he been called light bright, you know, light bright. So that's true.
But
White bread, they call me
but
white
they-
bread.
you know,
And it's not to
White
take
bread
away
call.
from your plight, but you being called light bright, that's cool. But all the little girls still want to date
That's
you.
not cool.
Right.
They ain't want to date me.
No. He said not to take away from it, but what he's saying is still, all of the little girls wanted to date you because you were like, it wasn't the same.
Yeah, they ain't
Nah,
want to
they
date
wanted
me.
to date me because I was Uncle MJ.
Oh my God, I can't with MJ.
Well, you might be true to that too.
That's true. But however, that is disheartening. Cause and I'm glad you found out that you wasn't ugly. All right, so
Thank
right,
you,
give him
Mama.
some bars for that one. All right, horrible. Next question was
It is.
what? Huh? It is right.
No, you said it's life. I say it
Yeah.
is.
Is what childhood trauma, and there's only one,
Only one.
that you just didn't carry until adulthood, but you carried into a relationship.
Oh, I got
Childhood
that.
trauma?
That's easy.
Yep, that you carried into a relationship as an adult.
That's easy.
Okay.
You can go.
Do y'all want to know this?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Do you really want to know
Right.
this?
Now, man, we'll come back. Chase,
Personal.
we'll come back to MJ. He about to go in.
You sure? You sure you want to go?
Go ahead, MJ.
Okay, so I'm like Rich Mo. I don't really know if it's a trauma. Well, okay, so I'm gonna go this way because I was gonna go another way, but we're on a family show, so I'm gonna say the legendary heartbroke.
No, you can be vulnerable. I mean, if you
Yeah,
want to be vulnerable.
Okay, so when I got my cherry bust, you know what I'm saying?
That's a female thing only. That's not for men.
Shush.
Men don't
what
get
you're
their
saying,
cherry
excuse
bust.
me, be
Not have a
quiet.
hymen, brother.
Exactly, bro. You don't bleed. What the hell is wrong with this man?
Well, I relate to you because you bled. He said his
that's
heart
because
was
he's light skinned.
No, he said,
His heart is
that was a light skin. That was a goddamn my cherry buzz. What?
I said,
You got a hymen?
You got a hymen?
no.
One day I rode the bike, I hit this bump.
No, what he's saying is because he received a heartbreak. I felt that MJ because you said you experienced heartbreak, so the blood was connected to the heart.
Right, but I wasn't. It ain't had nothing to do with my heart being light skinned. But anyway, listen,
Go ahead. Hush up and let him finish. Go ahead, MJ.
I've never heard a man say my cherry bust. I'm sorry.
We never heard one say they was thick.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, I got lost my virginity.
God, he changed it.
Is that better?
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes,
So okay. So wait, hold on 1 second. So explain. Okay, losing your virginity as a child. We know you carried that in your adulthood.
He ain't finished the story.
Right, but let me explain. I lost it a different way. Like I kind of, if you really think about it, the young lady raped me.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That's a different
dynamic. So that's
why he said pop this.
So when I was
made sense.
So when I was 7, my babysitter thought I was adorable, and she was maybe 14.
Wow.
But yeah, and she did some things to me physically that I was not prepared for at 7 years old.
Okay.
So yeah, there you go.
So how did that, if you don't mind sharing, did you carry that into the relationship?
Well, not now, you know.
No, I know. I'm speaking, you know.
Oh yeah. So when I got older, the trauma kind of went in the wrong direction. Let me just say it this way. So it was traumatic for her what she did. However, she kind of taught me some stuff too. So it was like, for me, I wouldn't even say scared. I was kind of apprehensive to really go at women. I didn't want to hurt women. I didn't want to, like, it kind of threw me off, if you understand. Like, I can't describe it to you. Like, it wasn't where I was like, it didn't take me to like, oh, wow, I'm going to go ahead and tear up every woman. It was sort of like ill type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't want to mess with it too much until I really had a little bit more practice when I got in my teens. And then by the time I got in the 20s, you know, it went away, if you understand what I'm saying. So it didn't last all the way, but I was in relationships. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I was 7 when that happened, and then I would say 15 in a relationship, which you know, we don't really know what that is at 15, but right. And then by 20, I'm in a relationship, but it was a little different. So as I got older, it was a little better. That's all.
Wow, kudos. Give him some bars for
Yeah.
Thanks for being transparent with us. And actually, I'm gonna move on so we can be fair, let everybody get their chance. But I want to ask you something in relation to that, if we have enough time, if you don't mind. But
sure.
Chase, go.
I'm like really over here trying to find something. I'm like, but I don't like want to get too like crazy because my mama watching.
Oh, but, that's why you say mom log off. I'm trying to figure you out of pocket.
Right.
Hey.
I guess I don't know. For me, you know what? Like, whatever. Fuck it. I'm a grown man. I guess for me, it was like getting the exposure to pornography.
Oh, okay.
Basically, as like seeing that visually, it just gave me the expectation that was like different like women that I was with gave me the expectation to like fulfill that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so having that experience, I'm like, oh, I want to do that, but as just sometimes, you know, that's not always the case. So I don't know. So that's something that I kind of always carry with me.
And how did that affect your relationship?
It did because sometimes I feel like I was never satisfied. I was always like kind of like chasing something else, like, and I still feel like I deal with it in a way.
Gotcha.
You know, that's so funny to me.
Cause that what?
Because I always hear how they talk about how pornography can ruin a relationship because it makes guys expect women to do certain things when that's acting, that's not real life. But for me, being exposed to pornography, it was different. It made me think that I had to perform like that in order to satisfy the woman.
That's because that's the extra alpha
It didn't make
male
me think
in your
that
head.
she had to do all that. It made me think I had to do the extra
There's
stuff.
other ways.
Yeah, but that's
Maybe it's the
that's
alpha thing in
just
my head.
There's other ways.
stronger ego.
There's other ways people get traumatized
Okay, I'm gonna go
too.
cry now in the corner.
There's other ways. There's
No, I
other,
was joking. I said, okay,
I'm gonna go cry now in the corner.
there's other ways to be traumatized too because when you watching it like that, it's not the same as when you're in the action.
Right.
So your mind could become to enjoy sex as watching two people.
Right.
But when you're actually having sex, you don't see that same sex.
Right, no, I understand
No,
that.
but what he said is when he seen it, his brain went into performance mode.
Right, it made
and
more
that
sense.
it
I
all
wasn't talking about
depends
him.
on
I was
what
talking
a
about
person,
in general.
No, I heard
what
that
drives
too. I
their
get that.
admiration and their ego.
Yeah.
His expectations like, I want this done, and he like, I want to do it. Two different things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I got both ways.
I got you.
Go ahead, Rich. Yeah, I got. Oh, no, yeah, Rich.
I mean, for me,
Don't cry, Chase. It's okay.
for me, it was when I was young. My cousin, I had, I like girls. I was probably like 13, and I told my cousin to go talk to this girl for me because I was mad at her. But she's supposed to be my girlfriend. So shut up.
I'm sorry.
So he goes in the hallway. He's supposed to be talking to her, and I look through the peephole. He's kissing her.
Oh, whoa,
Yeah.
but that slimy or grimy?
So
Slimy.
that was like,
Wow.
That was slimy. So
then that just kind of put my mind state on how girls are, and cousins. Look. So honestly, after that,
immediately we caught the blame.
No.
We caught the blame immediately.
yeah, because the next girl I dated, like, she was a girl I really wanted. You know what I'm saying? And the sad part is that she really liked me, and once I saw her talk to him, it was like.
But that's what I'm saying.
I cut
How
her
your
off.
own self
Yeah, I cut her
actually
off.
threw that on her,
Yeah.
not even knowing the whole story. You assumed that
Yeah,
she let it, and not
immediately.
even because you sent him to go talk to
No.
her.
No. What I'm saying, no. That's not what I'm saying. They ended up fucking with each other.
Right.
Them two.
Well, it's clear if you
Them
call them
two.
kids.
And I started talking to her sister. That's that project shit. But I'm saying
That's kids stuff,
when
too.
I moved on from that whole situation, the next girl I got with, I really liked her. But when I seen her speak to my cousin one day,
Oh man.
I deaded her.
And
then
she thought she was gonna do something.
Because I thought, I thought it was possible she could already be doing something.
Right.
Then when I spoke to her, she flipped like, "See, you dumb, because I really liked you, and you gonna do that, like,
Right.
And then after that, my thing was, in a lot of relationships, I started to think that they were doing stuff with people. It just made me think that if I didn't have a peephole to look through, I would never know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's for like the next good 10 years. I didn't have a girlfriend. Like I've really only been in like maybe 2 or 3 real relationships, and none of them lasted over a year maybe. Like I never did relationships. I always wanted to be the side nigga at this point.
Hold on.
Because
We're gonna come back. Wait, we're gonna come back. Wait, we're gonna come
I'd
back.
rather be the nigga
I
behind the
know.
people
I knew what he was about to say.
than be me.
I knew what you was about to say, and
So
that
I
is
was-
very. We're gonna come back to that.
I was that
and
for
that's
20 years.
Very important. Woo!
20 years.
Got some
If
work
you ain't have
to
a boyfriend,
do.
if you ain't have a boyfriend, I ain't fucking with you. I had a girl dump her man for me. We was dating each other for almost a year, and she's with this nigga longer. And she came to me one day and said she dumped him, and she looked totally different to me at that point. I left her alone. I didn't want to
Go
be
ahead,
that nigga. I don't want to be your man.
That's funny because I got a story similar to that. I feel like I got so many traumas that played into my relationships, but I got one that's similar to that too, Rich. But the biggest one, I'm gonna go with the biggest one, and I realized recently this year that I got commitment issues, and I realized where my commitment issues this year come from. to kind of piggyback, and we're getting vulnerable, so I'm going to get vulnerable. And it kind of piggybacks off the last stint of me feeling ugly because I was dark skinned. So me being told I was ugly because I was dark skinned. And then I didn't have the most affectionate mother growing up. You know, I didn't have the mother that, you know, said things like, you know, my handsome son, or I'm proud of you, or, you know, you're awesome, amazing, whatever. Like, a mother who gave a lot of, you know, tears of or words of endearment. Mm-hmm. I had the kind of mother where, you know, I got straight A's. She was more so like, what you know, why am I going to reward you for doing something you're supposed to do? And I get it. I'm not mad at it. I get it. But, you know, as a kid, you know, incentives, you know, worked a lot for kids. Right. But nonetheless, that trickled to me growing up and eventually never feeling good enough. So my fear of commitment came from me never feeling like I was good enough. So whatever chick I got with, no matter if she told me I was fine, sexy, she told me I was a good man, she told me I was the best ever, I never felt good enough. I always felt like, not that she was lying to me, but more so like, none of that matters to me because it's like, my mom never said that to me. So you saying it don't really, it's effed up, and I think about it, but like, doesn't really matter. So a lot of I just learned that this year about myself at 28 years old, that I do have a fair commitment, and like I said, it stems from me never feeling like I was good enough. So I feel like if you actually put your 100% faith in me, I might drop the ball. So you know, I do stupid stuff and I'll run or.
But I was gonna say, never told you or stopped telling you.
Never. I don't recall. I don't recall ever. And I ain't being petty. I'm being serious. But I have a story like that too.
So where did Kev's the man? He's the man. Where'd that come from?
I really don't remember that. I'm not debating.
That's why I said stop.
I just don't remember.
That's why I said stop for it.
I'm back. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't even know we lost it. So I don't know how much you heard.
I heard a lot. I just fell off for whatever reason. I think my battery's low.
I got a similar story like original real quick. I want to say, if you don't mind, just real quick, because it's funny how that shapes you to be who you are, and how me too. So I had a situation. I was in high school. I was a sophomore, and I had this girl who I was in love with. Like I was in love with her. And at this time, I'ma say it, I was a simp. I was a whole sucker. I was a sucker for love. like I was like, it's funny because we had my homeboy, Team B Banger. He was on here. He know when I was younger, I was a simp. You gotta respect girls and read them poems and give them flowers. Like you gotta treat them like queens and princesses. Like I was a sucker. But
that's what a sucker is?
I'm gonna tell you why. So I had this girl.
Everything I told him that was good is a sucker.
Cause it never worked for him. I'm gonna tell you how. So like I said, I was in 10th grade. I was 15. I had this girl. She was now that I think about it, something was wrong with her because she was 18 and was a junior. But nonetheless, she was fine to me. I was liking her. She was fine. And you know, I had a big crush on her, but she had a boyfriend. Come to find out, her boyfriend cheated on her. So I'm like, nah, my chick. I'm like, I know I just get her to talk to me. I know she'll like me. So eventually I got a number. She started talking to me, and she ended up liking me. So pretty much she played me. She, you know, used me to make her boyfriend jealous. Got back together with her boyfriend. So I'm like, you gonna want this after the way he did you? And I'm over here. But that's why I realized I could be petty too, because I never forget. I got real Joe like, yeah, you know, does she like me now? So one day I came up, what's up, girl? I said something like, in reference to liking me. And she like you? She said, I don't like you. She said, I like you as a friend, but, you know, other than that, no, like, you too young. I'm 18, you 15, you young. Like,
she young boy.
She young boy me, right? So I said, okay. So I was pissed. So, like, I never forget, it's like the last week of school. And I don't know, I lived in Philly. The last week of school, you only go to bull crap with your friends at school because you're not doing nothing. So I get dressed, I got a fresh haircut, whatever. So I know I had little girls in my grade that had liked me. So I'm sitting at the lunch table and all the girls around me flirt with me. And I get up to leave lunch and she's coming in. So she stops in front of me and is like, you know, oh Kevin, you look handsome and this. So she touching me. and I yell rape real loud in the lunchroom. I'm like, rape!
I should
Everybody
hit him
like,
with
what?
this daggone
So I'm like, why you touching me? Remember, I'm too young. So I left her looking stupid.
Oh,
and ever since that day,
Lord.
but listen, hear me out though. But ever since that day,
Praise the Lord.
I realized, like, I'm like, girls don't like nice guys. They like assholes.
They do.
So literally, I became an asshole. And every girl I ever wanted, all of a sudden now was in love with me. But I gotta be an asshole. I'm like literally, that made me into a whole asshole. I had to become an asshole. Because me being nice, reading
crazy.
poems and all that, got me nowhere.
Shit.
The minute I stunned it on you, you want to kiss my feet.
You know what's
like,
weird?
It really made me an asshole.
He don't know how close our stories are because
I told you it was close.
I used to write rhymes for chicks, right?
I was writing poems, like whole poems
You know
for chicks.
what my cousin told me the day he kissed the girl, right? When he came back inside and I flipped on him.
This
and
is
then,
black men's therapy.
you know what he said to me?
What?
I was like, yo, don't laugh at me. I was like, I asked, I said, why don't girls like me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why they don't like me? Like, they always want you. Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? He was like, he said, if you act how you act in the house, outside the house, they'll love you.
Right.
But in the house, I would snap on them. I was mean to my family. Like I told you, I was talking to my cousin Black.
No, listen.
From the very next
They
day,
was in love with you.
and I was
See,
being
the
an
funny part
asshole.
is,
Listen,
that's the quality of women
And I've
that
been
you're
that. I've
looking
been
for.
that ever since. No, it's
But
not.
there's a lot of
No,
females.
it's not.
They like the bad boys. They like the
regardless of
roughnecks.
regardless of if they want a good guy or not. What I've noticed in life is compliments. They come. They know girls don't pay attention to that. When you say that one negative thing, that's what she's zoning.
Oh, from rip.
That's the only.
Well, it may
That's
be
how you
some
get
truth
somebody's
to that.
attention.
No, listen.
Well, it may be
And then
some
you
truth.
can be smooth.
Listen, I'm gonna give you the
Well,
promise.
no, it may be some truth to
But
that,
I'll give
but
you-
that's still
But
toxic.
It's very toxic.
I can give you
That's
the
not
listen,
very
I
toxic.
can give you the prime example because what he's saying is because it's so crazy. If you go back on
must
my
be
Facebook
totally
far
opposite.
enough to when I was a sophomore in high school, you can see me writing poems on Facebook and my homeboys clowning me like I was a whole sucker. But nonetheless, it's true because my whole game when I got older became predicated off me being a funny asshole. I wasn't asking you
Me
wanted to
too.
slap. I was asking you wanted to be around because I was funny.
I was funny, right?
But it was ignorant though. But it was so
I wasn't
funny
mean-
that
I
you
wasn't being
that
mean.
you liked me. So when
I
I
would
got
just be snapping.
so when I
right?
got older and I became a little bit of a ladies' man, my whole prejudice
Yeah.
was off of being an asshole. And the females, they grab it. Like I didn't barely have to say anything. They would just be at my feet. And it was like, even with my lady now. Shout out to my baby. When I first met her, the very first thing I said to her was the most asshole thing ever. And to this day, she goes, well, I can't believe I actually sat
And
there
I'm
and
mad
talked
that
to
she
you.
liked
And listen, she said, she said, to me, I can't believe I'm mad. I said, because I said that asshole thing, that made you think, who is this nigga? I got who he's about to think he can say
Yep,
this to me. She said,
exactly.
damn, you right. I said, I've learned
Not me.
how to play women. I said, I've learned
Not me.
how to play a woman to get what I want, so I can laugh you and talk you out of anything.
Me too.
But that still has to do with the quality of woman that you're dealing with.
But
Let me
No,
just be
it
honest.
really does.
Most women like that. From
It's
what I
because-
experienced.
Well,
From what
no,
I experienced.
I'm just
From what
saying
I
that it
experienced.
really does because
No,
all women
you
like that
can't-
because nobody would ever be able to get me that way.
You can't listen. Some women you can't. You
Most
gotta know how
most
far
women
to
are
go.
not open
You
and
gotta know
order
how
you
far
how
to
you
go.
are.
Someone
Which
could
is
say,
true.
let me tell you what happened,
But
right?
my saying is you
Even with
can't
somebody
be
like
an
you.
a-hole
No, you
because
can-
it's
you can
so
do that too.
corny.
No, not like that. What I'm saying is, I imagine you walking by.
Imagine
Imagine
that.
you walking by and a nigga say something fresh. Knowing you gonna turn around and either try to check him or whatever.
Give
But
him
if he
some
grabs
game.
your attention, give him some. If he grabs your attention,
It's there. That's what I meant.
and he got game too,
It's
and
you.
y'all start spitting,
That's
and you
when it-
realize,
that's when it
damn,
intrigue
you're not even an asshole, and
Right.
you're not even
Exactly.
dumb. You might find out. You might.
That has to do with intelligence.
It's going
I
to,
gotta be
but
honest.
it's going to.
It doesn't. He's smart. I'm
listen,
smart.
It's about.
but
It's about
passed.
grabbing you. It's going to intrigue you. Me saying something
Our
smart,
past
I'm
got
like,
us
who
acting
this
like
nigga
that,
think?
yeah.
It's going from that moment. It's going to
no,
grab
because
you.
I'm not going to stand there and argue with a dude because he said
No,
something.
it's
you
not
ain't
going to
gonna
turn to
argue.
argument. If he got
Once-
game,
once
it ain't
you
going to be an
turn around,
argument. That's it.
It ain't gonna be no
His
more
whole
asshole.
swag going to change.
Well,
Well, no, it's not that. I'm
Swag.
thinking that if you, like you just gave the example, if you're in the gas station and someone says something to you, of course, automatically you're going to turn around and see what they talk about. That's a response.
Yeah.
But you have a choice whether to entertain that or keep on moving.
Most definitely.
The minute you turn around, if a nigga's smart enough
If
to
he got
say,
game.
right? If he's smart enough to say something to get you to turn around, he should be able to keep you there.
Yeah, if he got game.
But some people can't. Like you said, some niggas might say the wrong thing, you gonna walk away. But there's some people that's gonna get you to turn around and they keep you there. Say something funny.
Well, my outlook from that is is the way you would write your raps and you would write your poems, letters, whatever, right? Whatever it was, right? And you was good at that, doing that, and no difference that y'all decided from whatever y'all experienced that made y'all flip and say, let me get this attention, just shows that you would have been good at anything. It's just like the biggest drug dealer in the street. If you would have kept on, it's just that you could have finessed what you did and said, I'm going to do it from this kind of girl opposed to going for that, because you could have been always had the wrong attraction to the wrong type of girl. So at the end of the day, if you would have focused on the other one.
So
my point is, you would have been good at anything. Is my point. You didn't have to switch to the other side.
But you can't tell did that hurt and that.
Oh, I know. I understand where it came from.
That's why I can agree that it's toxic.
Saying that,
it's very toxic.
And then it takes you out of who you are. And you became something other than who you wanted to be.
Because sometimes
you wanted to do poetry. You had to take on, before you finish that, you had to take on a characteristics of Bruno Mars in the song, Lucky for You, That's What I Like. I said, listen, that's some swagger right there. Right. He said, lucky for you, that's what I like. Because if I didn't like it, you probably wouldn't get it. So you riding on the wave that I like this too. Yeah. So my point is, if you would have fell in love with, I like writing poetry for the girl, you could have just finessed that.
That's true. And like I was about to say, the sad
kept
part
going
is,
through him like a
the sad part is, I don't know if you experienced this, but the sad part is that even in that, sometimes you get tired of playing that game.
Most definitely.
Because sometimes it's like, they like to be around that. Like I've sat around a girl one time and she's like, "You all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's wrong?" Nah, you just seem down. You usually, I'm chilling though.
Well, that's just people being observant to your personality and how you are.
No, I experienced that, but I'm more so the sense now where she at. Where, like I said, that was more so young me. Now, at the age I am now, it's more so if I gotta do that, if I gotta be an asshole to get you, I don't want you.
Yeah, you ain't it.
Yeah.
No, don't get me twisted. I should tell you, I'm an asshole by nature already.
Yeah.
But if that gotta be my first. If I gotta be something, if I gotta exhibit a toxic trait to get you attracted to me, I don't want you.
But see, the thing about it is, I never even knew. Now he's not an asshole by trait. Excuse the French, because he wasn't. He turned into one. And see, it all makes sense now because of what you experienced. But because you weren't sharing those experiences with me, I would have never known any of that. Right. So because of that, so it's amazing how your traumas can turn you into an individual, right? A whole different person, right? That you don't even know or realize until you try to come back and lose yourself in, or how some traumas that you carry into relationships and into adulthood.
That's a fact.
Because everybody trauma was heavy.
Well, you gotta answer that question, not just us.
Oh, hell yeah, you ain't answering none of these questions.
Well, I planned on it.
Backtrack.
No. I planned on answering all of them, but because y'all was a little long-winded with your answers,
right now, here we go.
I was trying to get all my questions out.
What childhood trauma that had led into your relationships? Childhood trauma.
Let's go.
One day I'm gonna let y'all.
I'm not gonna ask you the first one.
You don't want
the second one.
What is a childhood trauma
that led into your relationships? And you had a few.
Okay.
You had a few.
I can say one that affected me the most.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was.
And make sure you get.
It let me.
No, we all got deep.
Kevin, are you going to shut up and let me think about what I'm doing?
I just don't want a shallow answer. But go ahead.
You gave me one, so can I?
It wasn't shallow.
You're being rude.
You're being rude.
Like, seriously.
All right, go ahead.
I was trying to think deep, too. I want to say, I would say that it probably was, I won't say it wasn't present, the lack or loss. Let me use the word loss. The loss of affection with my parents. Because it was present at one time because I can remember it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I can remember it. But the loss through their separations and their own traumas and them going through whatever they went through, losing sight of the responsibility of what your children actually needed. To hear probably some of those things that he mentioned, the lose sight of that probably was that, because certain things never meant a big deal to me. You know what I mean? So being super vain was something I never was, right? And some people might make the difference, but to me, I was just never one of those individuals. But I would say probably
That.
that. Yeah.
All right, you got
That's
50
one of-
seconds. So how did it affect your relationship though? How did you carry it into your relationship?
How did I carry that into my relationship?
Yeah. So you wasn't too affectionate in your relationships?
I'm still affectionate. I'm an overly affectionate person. I don't think that has nothing to do with it. I'm extra by nature. I'm extra by nature.
Right.
I would probably say it made me set extra boundaries. So these are my expectations. You got to meet it here, and if you don't meet it here, I can move on. So I would say that it made me set that because I can move. I don't believe in waiting for anything. I can move on literally like one and done.
We logging back on, y'all. We logging back on.
So I think, yeah, maybe that. How did that shape my relationship?
Want to say?
Cause
that was a great.
Hold on, cause you know what? Cause I don't think that. Okay, I know how it shaped in my relationship now that I think about it. Because I was about to say, I don't think it affected in that way. But then I can see probably where it did. And that probably stems from not being... Well, yeah, my dad never said I love you. My dad is Fred Sanford, Archie Bunker, the Jeffersons. Like, literally. And he is Scorpio. So, shoot. Yes. But you know what I mean? He didn't have no mom. He didn't have affection from a woman. So that made it impossible for him to show emotion to a degree. You know what I mean? Because, you know, he was distant from his dad since 12 and his mom died at birth. So, yeah, so he didn't know that. He didn't have that. I knew he loved me, though.
Yeah, I knew that.
And I think that ties into my answer, but I'll wait. It wouldn't let you on?
It's not letting me save it. Share it.
Huh?
It's like freezing when I'm trying to share the second video.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why it's freezing though. I don't want to do nothing to lose it. Because all you're supposed to do is push share. See, it's lighting up.
There's no service?
I don't know if it's the service.
I don't know. I just want to have a good time. Ooh. Belly hot, belly hot. All over. Here, go back live so we can log off. Here, I don't know how to do that. Why he trying to do that? How do you do it? How do you
trying to go live?
Yeah, so we can end it.
On the same live?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if it'll. I'm trying to see if it'll let him. Trying to see if it'll.
Let you go on?
Yeah, it's connected. You are live. So what is it doing now? Cause I'm trying to think. Hold it there and see if it
You live.
Oh, I don't know how to send for chasing. I'm not know how to do it.
Yeah, wow, it's saying that you live.
What did it say on there?
It just said you went live, but it's not. They're gonna give you insights with me now.
Hey, long time no see.
No.
How are you? I'm good. I'm good.
What's good, brother? You alright? Yes, sir.
Who that? Who that? Zuby mine?
Everybody else ain't here no more.
Yeah.
What it do, Rich?
Got rid of everybody. It's not doing. It's not.
All right, so I think I know how it affected me now. Oh, I don't know. You sent the shit? Oh, I don't know how to do that. How you do it?
I sent it to him already.
Oh, MJ?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Kevin Flo. I'm sorry, y'all. We Rich over here playing Tech Doctor. Okay, so they wanted to know, how did the trauma, what was it, affect the relationship? And I guess I was the last one on that. So I would say that I would say that it affected. Did it do it? No. I would say it affected the relationship by, I guess, just because I never heard it a lot, or I think it was lost. That I love you or whatever else, the same thing Kevin spoke about. I think that being lost, I'm extra anyway. But outside of that, I think I was comfortable with not hearing it. So whether you said it didn't matter to me. And my motto still to this day, and I don't know if it's still trauma related, is you don't ever have to tell me. As long as you show me, I'm good with that. I don't really care about the words. I need to be shown. And I guess because some of the choices that my parent made, or I'll say even my grandparents have made, you tend to look at some of the choices that they actually made. If they chose something, you feel like if they chose that over yourself, it does something to your self-esteem. It does something to your self-worth. So in making certain decisions that doesn't include the growth of your child or your child's value, put it that way, that's the word you're looking for, the value of your child, then I think I carried it over by just saying, you need to show me. I don't really want to hear it, because I really didn't care if you ever said the I love you word. As long as you showed it, I wrote with that. You ain't had to say it. So if you come to me and you saying a bunch of time, it would immediately irritate my ears. Like, I don't need to hear that. I need to see it.
The same way.
So I think that's how I carried that trauma as a child. And I won't say I never had it, because I can remember my mom doing a whole lot of good, motherly stuff. But it was lost through her own trauma. It was lost. And those some of the things that tend to happen. That's the same thing I was sharing with Kevin. You didn't have it, or it was lost. Because once you get a certain age, and I spoke about this before, how we cater to babies. Babies are so adorable and cute. But by the time they start growing and hit puberty, and then their attitudes change, they get more attitude. You got a lot of responsibility. You're still trying to work through your trauma. And all of that just plays effect with everyday life, and you lose the sight of the
Well, I'll say
there
real
you go.
quick. I'll say that it was lost. Then not that you say it like that, because I had affection. I remember having affection for a period of time. I remember having. I had to learn to stop saying, because everybody give affection differently. So I can recall for a period of time that my mother was, affectionate towards me. It may not have been the affection that I thought should be affection, but that was her giving affection. So let me not take that from her. So I would say somewhere in the sauce it got lost.
Yeah, that's what I said too. Stop copying. But yeah, somewhere in the sauce.
But yeah, I don't care about that. I love you, so I need you to show
right.
me.
So now, I know 100% better now that children need, especially when they get towards puberty, they probably need it more, right? And that transition from them wanting it or getting it all the time when they're younger, they get all the attention. That transition into once they get 12, 13, 14, and me, I'm like, break it, because certain kids require a certain amount of admiration. One in general, they're like a lot. It's like, that's just too much. They want attention. Listen, and kids can be very, very selfish with it, especially mine.
I'm not like that. I don't require a lot of affection or attention.
A whole lot of attention.
I don't require a lot.
Sit down there. A whole lot. So with that being said, I would say that is when I really ever heard it. So it's important to hear it from me. Ashley said I really ever heard it. So it's important to hear from me. My parents were only proud when I accomplished something. Certainly created a complex, right? And Kevin shared that same feeling. But let me speak from a parent perspective. And this is something, because I know you're a parent as well. And it's not even intentional, right? Because what I would say to my kids when they say they didn't hear it too, or about getting anything, whatever accomplishment they made, it was because I was comparing you to the best and not comparing you to the average or what they thought, I should be comparing you to. So I always wanted the best for my children or anybody. So I'm always going to compare you to the best and not the worst. So it's like, you're not happy? Everybody else in here did this. If you didn't meet the expectations that I set for you, yes, I had a problem with it. And that doesn't make it right, but that was one of my traumas I can see that carried over into my adulthood as a parent, because it made me extra, if that made sense. It made me set, as they probably would think, unrealistic boundaries,
Simply
right?
proud of you.
And it probably made me a perfectionist because, no, it's probably already in my nature. Now that I know better, but it made me, but I can say the extra. Some extra, I try to down some of the extra because I am a whole lot
I just want to
extra.
say a simple "I'm proud of you"
Right.
can go a long way for
Right.
your children.
Which is true.
Because for me personally, I remember where I will go extra hard just to hear "I'm proud of you," and I will go so hard that it will cause me to mess up because I would try to do more than I know I'm actually able to do, but I would try to go above and beyond just to hear "I'm proud of you." And I give a perfect example. I would never forget this because this was like I don't want to say it was a traumatic thing for me, but it definitely was a staple in my mind. I'll never forget. I was home and I had a bunch of my cousins over, and these are my older cousins. They're about like 2 to 3 years older than me. We was all getting ready to go somewhere. I don't remember where. But nonetheless, they were bigger kids than me, so they were all ironing their own clothes. So, in my head, I'm like, no, I can iron my own clothes too. Like, I'm gonna iron my own clothes. So I can show my mom that she ain't gotta iron my clothes no more and da-da-da. So I take the iron and I iron my own clothes. And I iron it right. I didn't burn myself. I didn't burn anything. And my mom was at home. She comes home. And I'm like, all I wanted to do was show her that I did it so I can hear, "I'm proud of you, son." So I rushed. Mom, look. I'm on clothes and ain't no wrinkles. I didn't burn myself. I didn't burn anything. And she beat me. She beat me for taking it upon myself and ironing my own clothes.
How old was you again?
Like 6 years old.
Because he didn't know the
She beat you
dangers
'cause
of an
you
iron.
because you could have hurt yourself.
I beat him because he could
But listen. But my point is this.
But
I, as a man, I get that. But you could have said, "Son, I'm proud of you."
which is true.
But what you did was risky,
Which is true.
and it was wrong. It was straight.
That's true.
Give me a belt.
Yeah.
That shit hurt the hell out of me as a young boy. Like, but I was confused. Like, what did I do? Like, I didn't burn anything. Like, I did it right, and all I wanted to hear was, "I'm proud of you."
I'm proud of you, yeah.
But
And
I
guess
didn't.
what-
But I didn't
it's-
get it.
And it's
If you
hard.
coulda said
It's
that.
hard. As a
No, it's about, and guess what would have been so easy if he would have said that.
As a 6-year-old, you're not thinking about
Yeah,
saying that. As a
but
6-year-old.
in my mindset, you're not thinking about that either. You're thinking about the dangers of what you
And
was
it's
told
like-
not to do and what you know better. And then it's important for everybody to know their children because, like I said, I know mine, so I know what you're able to learn. Because, like I said, I can teach him something, books, read, words, and I meant pick it up ridiculously. In 20 minutes, I can give him a whole spill this cab, learn this, get this, and he would get it. I knew his ability. He was extra smart. So when he didn't want to do it, I knew it was his laziness and his stubbornness that didn't want to do it either. And he didn't understand that part. And because I had the grandmother that I had, they always said, you don't treat certain children according to their age. You treat them according to what they know and what they can comprehend to make them the best. Because that's what my grandmom said to me. Right. So that's what I went on down to. So I get it. But I'm proud of you now.
And you talking.
Oh, yeah, duh. Anyway, y'all, back together our thoughts instead of being reactionary. That is so true. That is so true. Well, now you can just communicate to, you have some children you can communicate with and some you still got to be extra forceful with because they're all different. That's just what it is. But we grow, we heal, we move better, and we learn. So we're going to get out of here because we're running over. But anybody and everybody can share their experiences. We'll love to hear and pick it back up later. I know I would. You want to say something as we chime out?
Love.
Hey, my last and least of my words, my sage soul solutions would be to sit back and reflect on how we can first liberate ourselves, right, by making extreme sacrifices and taking full accountability for the things that we have brought into our lives. The conversation today was thought of behind Columbus Day, but also wellness all the way around the board. So the trauma as a child that we take into our lives as adults, and then the trauma we bring into relationships without being aware of the other person is very, very important, something for us to think about. And also, most importantly, forgiving those, right, who actually inflicted the trauma on us, whether it was from ignorance or hurt or their own trauma. Forgiving and moving forward in peace is better for our soul. It's 100% better, because what happens when we don't let go of that trauma is we inflict more pain on ourselves than we even intend to inflict on ourselves. So it's better to sit back, like I said, and actually just take accountability, do some sacrifices, liberate yourself first and foremost, and then we can work towards liberating each other and being there for each other so that we can liberate and unify as a race and move forward to do what we need to do. Liberate yourself, Flo, and go eat. Love y'all. Peace and blessings. We out.
125th, Brooklyn, Atlanta, Orlando, Indianapolis, Houston, and now. Yeah.